Just checked the surf for the first film footage for the Rocket Wide, and we're on. Woo! Jake's Board Reviews! So, Rocket Wide. Hey, this is Jake from Jake's Board Reviews, and today we'll be checking out the Rocket Wide by Channel Islands, and this one's in a Spinetek construction. This one comes in at 5'6", 19 1/4 by 2 3/8, and it's roughly around 26.8 litres. I can't determine exactly, but that's how it felt underfoot, as it is a custom, and the literage wasn't written. Anyway, where do I start with this board? Very fun board. Super great board for a lot of the beachy conditions we're going to surf for, around like our everyday conditions around home, and yeah, it's just really fun board. So the wide point on this board is center, but I would say surfing this board, it feels a bit more neutral than other fish kind of type boards. So mentioning fish type of boards, let's talk about the fin setup. So at the moment, today I tried a 2+1 MR set. That felt the best so far, but in saying that, the medium accelerator fins were my go-to in a PC core, and they felt great as well. So just depends on the feel you want. If you want a more 2+1 kind of fishy feel, go for the MRs with the stabilizer. That felt great. If you want kind of that traditional performance shortboard feel in waves like 2 foot and even below 1 foot if the beachy's got punch, the accelerators and the PC core construction will go perfect for any surfer looking for that versatility. Rocker. So if we see low entry rocker, low exit with a swallowtail, and the concave we have a single, and then the double kind of starts just above the fins, gets slightly more cupped and aggressive. I don't know if you can see over there, but it's not a super aggressive double, and then it kind of just V's out at the end there. So yeah, it's just that double concave helps it go quick on transition rail to rail, and yeah, just get the board whipping around in the smaller stuff. When you get this board in the right part of the wave, it goes magical. And yeah, it's one of those boards, I wouldn't say it's exactly my magic stick. Like, I wouldn't call it a board that it's like in my favourite category, but it's something that I definitely want to keep, and I think a lot of you guys will like it. For those of you that kind of like a lot of foam under your chest, it's not exactly what you're looking for, but because of its pivot point, it will improve your surfing a lot, and yeah, it teaches you also to get good on your back foot as well, and yeah, just it'll improve your surfing and you'll have fun at the same time. This board didn't come as a 5-fin option, so that would have been really good to test a quad, because I'm loving my Neil Purchase Junior Quartet right now, and I'm kind of in a quad mindset and I really want to ride quads a lot. What else can I break down? Durability, tough as shit. That's the best way to put it. It's super tough. Like, I'm giving it a 9.5. Spinetek. Also, let's talk about Spinetek a little bit and break down the construction. So as you can see, it's got just that carbon kind of strip down the middle, and then mind the colour. So all the other paint job, that's just like apparently like all the side things for that's not extra carbon, it's actually just paint. That's what the guy told me, he sold it to me. So no worries, it's not too different from a regular 5'6" Rocket Wide. Anyway, without further ado, let's break down the back of the board. So we also got on the back there like just the spine strip, and I think the guy started it was Clayton, possibly. Well, helped work on it was Clayton Surfboards based in the Gold Coast. I was surfing just before our local point break, and I forgot I was riding a Spinetek board, to be honest. I forgot I was even riding a epoxy. It didn't really, even though it does float and it does paddle really good and has that get up and go speed, for those of you that don't like kind of epoxy boards normally, I think you'll prefer this construction. Let's talk about foam distribution in this board. There's a bit of foam in the tail, which I didn't really notice when I bought the board. So on the side here, as it comes towards the tail pad, there's a bit of foam there. That's just going to help it carry speed. On this board, you can get your back foot a bit forward, and it'll just excel through turns, especially with the MRs. It tightened the board up a bit, but it gave it a bit more speed, and yeah, they just felt really good. Like, I actually was surprised. For those of you that have futures, they're similar to the T1s, so that would be an option. What else can we talk about in this board? Rails, medium. Yeah, I'd say like kind of a bit like low apex rails, not like they kind of sit like a bit off a rail. Yeah, medium rails, a bit boxy kind of wouldn't say exactly boxy. It's not got a huge boxy feel. So yeah, good board. I'm enjoying it. You'll see some clips. I'm going to shoot them into the review. I can recommend it because I had fun on it. And I would also like to mention, I've nailed my carving 360s because of where the wide point is on this board. I was able to just like flow and whip it around, and it's got a lot of, I thought the MRs would couple well because if you see, it's got a lot of like MR inspiration. It kind of just looks like that nice like fish style board. The only difference is it's not as much foam. The wide point's not as far forward as some of the like traditional MR twins or the California twin or the RNF. The wide point's in the center. So those of you that are like, oh, I want to ride something fun, but I don't want it to feel kind of too round on my turns, this would be a perfect option. I like this board a lot. I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I want to practice some turns on it, like refine some of my surfing so it improves my surfing, and yeah, have fun on it. 2+1 is my recommendation, but that was an interesting choice of wording. But the PC Core Accelerators felt really good. Probably the best, and once I put them in, I was actually not even fussed to try anything else. So those, with the carbon kind of strips in them, those are perfect. And that's the old set, so the new one looks a bit different, but same thing, you'll think just PC Core Accelerators. Level. So beginner, I'd say anything like higher level beginner, I wouldn't really ride it if you're a beginner, but if you foam it up a bit, it just depends on your level. So let's talk about like distribution of foam. If you're an intermediate surfer, you surf quite good, you're starting to surf good, you can go at like your normal shortboard dims kind of thing. What I recommend, I normally ride in a shortboard like for 5.9, so I dropped down to a 5.6. Well, second hand, so I didn't really have a choice, but what I'm saying is, yeah, I dropped this down to a 5.6, and yeah, the 5.6 feels pretty good. If you want to catch a few more waves when it's smaller, I'd say go up an inch or two, but don't be overly generous with the foam because you don't want to lose that performance factor. So if you're a beginner, obviously go at a few litres up. Yeah, all in all, good board. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this board if you buy it. I recommend it. And Spinetek, you can ride the PU, but I think the Spinetek is really brings out the magic in this board. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers. Jake's Board Reviews.